Díomh Cáride agus fáilte go dtí on Logan Sounds Off. Tom ag labhairt le Coolboy inniu. Hello and welcome to Logan Sounds Off. Today I'm going to be talking to Coolboy, an incredible new Irish rock band who have such a unique tone and I'm a massive fan of, and I'm really glad to speak to them today. So, how are you guys?
Not too bad at all.
Great, yeah. Thanks for the kind word.
Oh, it's fine. I love your music and it's brilliant to be talking to you today. And for those, before we get into what you do, I'd just like for you to introduce, for anybody who doesn't know you.
Well, we're Coolboy. As you said, we're a kind of up-and-coming Irish rock band. We formed about 6 months ago, about that. We are all from County Laois. Myself and Fionn live about 2 minutes away from each other, and we were kind of jamming like last summer, and we said, you know what, we'd love to start a band. So we contacted these two guys, Alex and Ruairi. They're from Mountrath. Basically, we did it in the car one day, and they were 100% in to do it. We started jamming, and then the rest is history, I guess.
Perfect, really smooth way to get into a band. And I mean, reading your bio, if anybody wants to know about Coolboy, the first thing that they see, which is incredible, is your influences, which is Fleetwood Mac, the Beatles and Thin Lizzy. Both all incredible bands. So was it kind of, when you were growing up, friends, or was it more family who nearly inspired you growing up?
Well, for me, it was my dad, really. None of my other family members have an interest in music. My dad sings a bit, and he would just introduce me to these incredible bands. Like, he has so many CDs of the Beatles and all those bands he just listed. Like, so that's how I really got into them, you know.
And what about the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I suppose it was similar. My dad now was into stuff like Led Zeppelin, Stone Roses and stuff, which kind of inspired how I got into guitar and stuff. When I heard the Stone Roses for the first time as well, I was like, okay, I want to play the guitar. So it was mostly my dad, that inspired that kind of thing.
You can hear some of the inspirations when you're playing guitar. It's really, really cool to see. And as well then, while you were growing up, obviously school is a massive part of any child's life, and with listening to music and all these different aspects, did it ever come together where you played music in school? Did you guys ever play music in school?
I would have been like in a few like different like school bands, and we'd have the music room at break time, so you just go in and jam with a few people, and I think that's where I got a lot of my different influences, because you meet different people, they show you their favourite artists and you show them yours. I think it just kind of developed over the years, yeah.
Did you guys have many musical friends in school that kind of influenced what kind of music was coming to you?
I think we're actually quite blessed. Myself and Fionn went to the same school. He was 1 year older than me in school, but we were kind of in the same friend group all along. And our school was tiny now when we started. We were like the second year. Fionn was the first year actually ever in the school. I was the second year ever. So as I said, it was very, very small. That way we were blessed because like you could be whatever you wanted to be. You know, there was no pressures in the school at all. Like, we kind of created what was cool or anything like that, and we made the school very musical. So all of our friends listened to a lot of great music. Like, we have very similar tastes to all of our friends. You know, I think they probably did inspire us as well.
That's how we even met, was through, you know, traditional music. You were playing Tin Whistle, I was playing the concertina. Like, that's how we became friends. So
the school trad band and all that.
That's really cool. That nearly saying that must be such a blessing, as you said there. That's really cool. And so some of you guys, before Coolboy, I know some of you guys were playing music as well, separately apart from the band now. How did you first get onto the scene?
You go first?
Well, I mean, as most of us were, we were in kind of bands, kind of finding our feet, because you're with the first band you join, you're not going to find the people you click with immediately.
Very rare anyway.
Oh, very rare. So I was in 3 bands before I joined this one. I was playing guitar actually. I played bass in this one, but I was playing guitar in all 3. And it just comes down to like the connections you have with the people, you know. And
fate as well.
Yeah,
fate, there you go.
A lot of times it doesn't work out, so very lucky to have this. Being fair.
I was in a band as well. It's exactly what you said though. It's kind of just different. You go different ways, and you kind of have different values and goals within it. And like the bands I was playing with had a great time in them. It's just after a while you kind of drift out and not ended up how you want it to be.
Absolutely.
No, I see what you mean there. That is it takes a couple of tries to find
Oh,
the right band.
exactly, yeah.
And
100%.
you're saying they're very rare ever is
Yeah.
first time. So you guys obviously work together very well. Watching you guys doing justice to Thin Lizzy there is really, really cool. When I saw that was awesome. So when you guys are rehearsing or playing together or jamming, the term used there, which is just a great term for anything.
It's always jamming.
What's your kind of studio technique?
Well, I guess when we're jamming, it's always
It's always in my
yeah.
house.
attic kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
He's a big, massive attic space. It's brilliant for
Mm.
practicing. Remember the first day we went there, we said, "This is the spot."
Yeah.
We call it the kitchen. This is where we cook.
Yeah, my family they don't stop cooking for you at all.
No, they don't. No.
They are
Your mum is
just-
brilliant. And shout out to her. She's fantastic. Every time we go, there's food on the table. So our practices can be productive, and sometimes it's just us talking, drinking tea.
Yeah.
Practice
Absolutely.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Hypothetical
Yeah.
podcast.
Wow, that's really cool though. I love the term kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that. That's
Yes, yeah.
That's
Quite
that's
Well,
what I'm gonna
unless
take
we
out from
trademark
this.
it, actually. So.
But obviously with An Ghig Mhór, the big gig, you guys are preparing. You're now doing some promos for your big gig. So before I ask you some questions about that, could you just explain what date it's going to be on and where it's going to be on at?
Yeah, it's going to be on the 26th of April in the Dunmays Arts Theatre. It's in the dead centre of Portlaoise, so it suits us, you know. We do have, I would say we have some sort of fan base now, so and they're all based around that area of Portlaoise, so it's handy. But yeah, 26th of April, it's getting close. It kind of flew by because we started this a couple of months ago now, and the gig is 2 weeks away, so
It's mad.
Yeah.
It's coming up quickly.
Mm.
So what have you guys been doing to now promote your big gig?
We kind of filmed a TikTok today that we're going to post online. We made a few posters. Actually, today we went around and we handed out flyers on
Yeah.
the street. Myself and Alex were in charge of that. All of it was such an awkward experience. Like, just obviously not everyone wants to take a flyer. So there was like 2 or 3 people in a row. We went up, we're like, "Here, do you have a minute? Can we give you a flyer?" And they said, "No way, sorry."
Who actually doesn't have a minute?
Yeah, somebody said, "Oh, sorry, I don't have a minute. I'm late to an appointment." I guarantee they were late to an appointment. There's no way. Like,
Wow, that's funny though, and I can see how that would be awkward. But I see you're well into now preparations and stuff, and you have a mentor at the moment, Shiva, who I've interviewed on my podcast before, an incredible musician, as you guys have learned, after meeting her and speaking to her. So what kind of tips has she given you? What have been the most useful tips that she shared with you guys?
about your drumsticks, remember? That was a
Yeah.
great little tip.
Just kind of on our practices, just kind of to balance the noise, especially
yeah.
because like we do find our practices as we go on, it gets louder and
Yeah.
louder, and the
Yeah.
volumes
Yeah.
turn up more and more. And she just kind of advised us on a few things to kind of protect our ears,
It's not good
essentially.
for your oral health.
Not good for the
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point though.
Great point, yeah.
It is, but I can see how tempting it would be to just turn it up a bit more. But no,
Always
that's really cool. And then, so you've learned a lot of tips, and you've learned a lot as obviously when you're cooking in the kitchen, you're making all this terrific music. So what kind of tips would you give to young musicians now, or even kids my age, 12, who have an interest in music or just want to put music out there?
I think I started playing guitar around your age. I think I was around 11 or 12. I guess main tip is just stay at it, you know. Like, sometimes it can be considered like uncool or anything when you're younger, but music is like the coolest thing in the world. Especially when you get older, everybody appreciates it, you know. So stick at it.
Everyone gets into it at different times. Like I didn't start playing guitar till I was about 17, and I'm 19 now, so I've only been playing for about 2 years. So I didn't start listening to music till I was about 16. So the main thing is just to be patient with it, you know.
100%.
Like if it's right, it'll be right, you know.
I have to say you're excellent for 2 years. Well done on that. But what about you guys? Do you have any tips?
I'd say put yourself out there. You know,
Definitely,
you're never gonna meet your future bandmates if you're always just stuck in your room, you know, jamming away. Like that can be good if you want to be a solo artist, but for me that just wasn't cutting the cheese. You know, I had to find people that like get me. You know.
Yeah.
And I think as well, if you want to get into the kind of like band scene, just to, like, as we were saying before, just to let things happen and
Yeah,
like
100%.
like don't stick in an environment that like, oh, I'm not happy, they want to play different music than I do.
Yeah.
Kind of do what you want and you'll find people that you click with and have a
Yeah.
good time with.
Like even after like my second band had kind of failed, I was like, what's going wrong? Am I not? I was kind of doubting myself
Yeah.
because like, why is this not working? And it just comes down to like, it could take 10 bands before
Yeah, you never know.
you,
like,
you find the right guys, you know.
plug it
It's
away.
just chemistry, but that's, I can see where that doubt will come from. That makes a lot of sense. And there's some great tips, guys. And obviously with you guys now starting fresh on the scene and starting to now get really into music and starting, as you were saying, releasing TikToks and everything, you guys are giving a really fresh outlook to some especially younger musicians. So thank you so much for that. But we have now for my last question, which is always the most fun in any interview for me. And I heard you guys talking about it earlier, so I'm very excited to ask, what kind of recommendations would you have regarding music, bands, albums, EPs, anything? Just put them out there. Here we go.
I know one that we all absolutely love. And they're not really up and coming anymore. They're kind of established. Wonder Horse from England. We absolutely love them. They're
I'm wearing a
fantastic.
Wonder Horse t-shirt
He's
right
wearing
now.
one.
Actually,
We went to see
Unbelievable.
Declan McKenna in the Olympia.
Oh wow.
There you
So
go,
cool.
yeah, show
That's
that, yeah.
class.
We went to see Declan McKenna in the Olympia only, what was it, last week, was it?
Yeah, it was last week.
Last
yeah.
week, and Wonder Horse were opening for them. And we were, now we love Declan McKenna obviously, but we were more excited for Wonder Horse. They're so good. The lead singer Jacob Slater, he's genius
Yeah.
songwriter.
oh, unbelievable.
Personal
Very
access.
Elliott Smith influenced actually.
Yes,
Really?
Even if
absolutely.
in his solo work,
Yeah.
he has an album that is so, it's like Elliott Smith reborn.
Yeah,
Really.
Yeah.
it's great, yeah.
Double
Really good.
tracked, or is it just?
Oh yeah, the vocals kind of like just blending in, like all the fingerstyle guitar.
Oh my
it's
God.
really,
So
Brilliant album.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
So, what about you guys?
Yeah, Wonder Horse definitely a massive inspiration for us, I think, because it's modern guitar music. You know, you don't find it much. I think in terms of modern stuff, Backseat Lovers as well, another modern band from America, really good. Now, for me personally, like I'd say anyone should listen to the Stone Roses' first album because I think it's the pinnacle of indie rock guitar music. You know, so if you want to get into this music, listen to that album. 100%.
Yeah, very great, very good album. And you were even saying there, Stone Roses got you into music, and he went, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It was the
Point for
moment.
Stone Roses. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about you, sorry?
My music kind of, like my taste in music kind of varies. I love, like, I'd say listen to Ren's album Sick Boy, an artist I really like, I think he's from York in England, Seb Lowe, and there was and then like I kind of like a bit more metal as well, so I kind of recommend listening to for anyone who likes metal, Megadeth, but everyone knows Megadeth.
Typical drummer.
Typical drummer. You
Yeah.
have to have it.
Of course.
But no, great recommendation though. Definitely check out that. But guys, I've asked you a ton of questions here. I loved listening to your recommendations. I'm gonna check those out. But thank you so much for doing the interview. You've answered them brilliantly. It's been great to meet you guys, and it's been great to listen to your music, and I'm excited to see where you guys go in the future. I have no doubt that you're going to go very far. But look, I'm going to have a look out for you guys as much as I can.
Cheers.
So I can't wait to see what you're going to be doing. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me on my podcast, Logan Sounds Off. And also make sure to check out my interview with Shiva, which was just a fantastic musician. She's very interesting, and just some cool facts there that you might learn about music that you might have never heard before. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a million.
Thank you very much, love.
Thanks a million.